4 transmission. Coolant reservoir, properly mounted, no crap under the damage. It's not leaking. Don't touch the cap while it's hot. Windshield washer fluid reservoir, properly mounted, no crap broken or damaged. It's not leaking. It's up to the proper level. Also the coolant reservoir, which I forgot. Oil dipstick, properly mounted. It's not crap broken or damaged. It's not leaking. To check the proper level, I will pull it out, clean it, put it back in, and pull it back out. My alternator is properly mounted. It's not crap broken or damaged. And it's belt driven. My alternator belt is not cut or frayed, and it's not loose more than 3/4 inches at the center. My water pump is properly mounted. It's not crap broken or damaged, not leaking. And it's also belt driven as the alternator. Alright, now I'm going to the other side. Looking at all my hoses, making sure they're all properly mounted. They don't have any abrasion voids or cuts or any leaks. Looking underneath my truck, make sure there's no puddles or leaks underneath the engine or the transmission. My air compressor, properly mounted. It's not crap broken or damaged. It's not leaking, and it's gear driven. Got my power steering reservoir. It's properly mounted, not crap broken or damaged, not leaking, and I will check that it's up to the proper level. My power steering box is properly mounted, not crap broken or damaged, not bent, not leaking, and it's also gear driven. Got my power steering linkage, properly mounted, all the way to the tire. And the power steering box. Not bent, not crap broken or damaged, not missing any castle nuts or cotter keys. Going to my suspension. Got my spring mount. It's not crap broken or damaged, properly mounted. It's not missing any parts. My leaf spring is properly mounted, not shifted, not crap broken or damaged. My U-bolts are properly mounted, not missing any parts. Not bent. Got my shock absorber, properly mounted, not crap broken or damaged, not leaking hydraulic fluid. Got my brake line and my brake hose, properly mounted, no abrasions, voids or cuts, no leaks. Got my brake chamber, it's properly mounted, not broken, not damaged, not leaking. Got my push rod and my slack adjuster, properly mounted, not crap broken or damaged, not leaking. When I apply the tractor brake, if I pull it and it moves 1 inch, it needs adjustment. If it moves 2 inches, it's out of service. Got my brake drum. My brake drum cannot have any holes or damages, or it cannot have any debris as oil or grease. My brake linings, they cannot be less than 1/4 inch of thickness. My inside rim and my outside rim are properly mounted, not crap broken or damaged, and there's no illegal repairs or weldings. My tires, the sidewalls and the top, are all properly mounted around the rim. They don't have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. They're not leaking. They're all both evenly worn. And my thread deck cannot be less than 432. My lug nuts, they're all present, all properly mounted, not crap broken or damaged, not showing any signs of looseness or shiny thread. My hub seal is properly mounted. It's not crap broken or damaged, not leaking, and I will make sure if it had a side glass for the proper, to check the proper level. My valve stem is properly mounted, not crap broken or damaged, not leaking.
That's extra point, right?
Huh?
That's extra point.
Well, the valve stem?
Yeah.
No.
Is it a regular inspection?
Yeah. Valve stem not crap broken or damaged, properly mounted, not leaking. I'll make sure my cap is pressing, and I will check the tire pressure with the tire pressure gauge to make sure the tire pressure is up to 90 to 100 psi or manufacturer specification. Alright, got my steps. They're probably mounted to the clamps, going to the tractor frame. They're not bent, broken, or damaged, and they're free of debris like oil or grease. Got my fuel tank. It's probably mounted to a tractor frame. Not crap broken or damaged. It's not leaking any fuel. My fuel cap is properly mounted, not crap broken or damaged, and I will make sure it has a good safety chain and the proper seal. My fuel line and my fuel hoses, they don't have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. They're not leaking, and they're all properly mounted. My door opens and closes properly. All my hinges are properly mounted, not bent or broken. And my rubber seal around my door is in good condition, properly mounted. Got my catwalk. If you want to talk about the mirror outside, you can. You can speak about it outside or inside the in-cap. Mirror properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged. Got my catwalk. It's properly mounted. It's not bent or broken, and it's free of debris like oil or grease. Got my frame. Make sure it's not bent. It's not bent. Doesn't have any dents. Not broken or damaged. No illegal repairs. Got my drive shaft. Make sure it's properly mounted, not bent or broken or damaged. And the U-joint is free of debris. Got my emergency line, service line, and electrical line. Blue service, red emergency, green electrical. Properly mounted to the tractor and the trailer, to the glad hands, the latch and the fittings. No abrasions, bulges, or cuts. Not leaking. It is not hanging on the catwalk, and they're not tangled. Got my glad hands. I'll make sure they're all properly mounted, and my latch. They don't have any crack, broken, or damages. They're not leaking. My rubber seals are in good condition inside my glad hands. Got my bulkhead. There's no damages or holes. Clearance lights, properly mounted, not crack, broken, or damaged. Amber in color. Side of the trailer, properly mounted. No damages, no holes. All my DOT tape present in good condition, all the way down to the trailer. Got my splash guard, properly mounted, not crack, broken, or damaged. Got my suspension again. Spring mount, properly mounted, not crack, broken, or damaged. Torque arm and leaf springs, properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, not bent. The leaf springs are not shifted. The U-bolts, properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged. No missing any parts. Over here I got the airbag and the shock absorber. I'll make sure they're all properly mounted. I will make sure the airbag doesn't have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and it's not leaking. I'll make sure the shock absorber is not cracked, broken, or damaged, or leaking hydraulic fluid. So with the suspension, I'm going to my brakes. I will check the brake lines and brake hoses. I will make sure they don't have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. They're properly mounted, not leaking. Then I will check my brake chamber. It's not cracked, broken, or damaged, not leaking, properly mounted. Then I will check the push rod and slack adjuster. Make sure they're properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged. I will make sure when the brakes are released, when I pull it, if it moves 1 inch, it needs adjustment. If it moves 2 inches or more, it's out of service. Got my brake drum inside. Cannot have any damages or holes or any debris like oil or grease. My brake lining cannot be dangerously thin, more than 1/4 inch. We got the inside rim, the butt space, and the outside rim. Make sure they're not cracked, broken, or damaged, and free of illegal repairs. Make sure the butt space is evenly spaced out, the tires are evenly spaced out, and there's no debris inside. My sidewalls, all my sidewalls, and the top of my tires are all properly mounted around my rims. They don't have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts, no leaks. They're all evenly worn, and there's no less than 232 thread there. Go to my lug nuts. Make sure they're all properly mounted, not missing, not cracked, broken, or damaged, or showing any signs of looseness. My axle seal, properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, not leaking. If it had a side glass, I would check to the proper level. My valve stem, properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, not leaking. I would make sure it has the cap present, and I would check my tire pressure with a tire pressure gauge and make sure that PSI are 90 to 100 or manufacturer certification on the tire. Got my mud flat properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged. It has to be at least 6 to 8 inches off the ground. Got my release arm, my fifth wheel release arm properly mounted with the safety pin and not cracked, broken, or damaged. Got my platform, my fifth wheel platform properly mounted, not missing any parts. It's not cracked, broken, or damaged. Got my fifth wheel properly mounted. It's not cracked, broken, or damaged. It's properly greased, and there's no spacing between my fifth wheel and my apron. My apron is properly mounted, doesn't have any damages or holes. My kingpin, it's not bent or cracked or damaged, and it's properly mounted inside my fifth wheel. My locking jaws are properly mounted around my kingpin, not cracked, broken, or damaged. Got my cross members. Cross members are all properly mounted around the whole trailer. They're not cracked, broken, or damaged or bent. No illegal weldings. Got my floor. Doesn't have any damages or holes. Got my lights. They have 4 functions: tail lights, brake lights, 4-way flashers, turn signals. Properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, red in color. Got my reverse light, properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, white in color. Come outside the truck. I see that I have enough space in between my tractor and my landing gear for turning. My landing gear doesn't have any illegal weldings. Properly mounted, it's not cracked, broken, or damaged, and it's fully raised.
Fully raised.
My handle, my landing gear handle, properly mounted in the safe position, not cracked, broken, or damaged. I will keep checking all my cross members on the floor to make sure they're not damaged or have any holes. Got my light. It has 3 functions: turn signals, 4-way flashers, and marker light. Properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, amber in color. Got my other light, same as that one. Properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, amber in color. So that's my turn signal, 4-way flasher, and emergency light. Turn signal, 4-way flasher, and marker light. Got my hoses. They're properly mounted. They don't have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. And I will make sure they're 18 inches off the ground. Got my tandem, properly mounted. Doesn't have any illegal repairs. It's not bent or broken. Got my tandem release arm. It's properly mounted around the safety pin. Not cracked, broken, or damaged. Got my screen mount. It's properly mounted. It's not bent or broken. Got my torque arm. Properly mounted. Not bent or broken. Shock absorbers. Properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, not leaking any hydraulic fluid. Have my airbags on the back. They're properly mounted. They don't have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and they're not leaking. Got my brakes, brake lines, and brake hoses. Properly mounted, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. They're not leaking. Got my brake chambers. They're properly mounted, not bent or broken, not leaking in the air. Got my slack adjuster and push rod on the back. I will release the trailer brakes, and I will make sure with that when I pull it, it doesn't move an inch. If it does move an inch, it needs adjustment. If it moves 2 inches, it's out of service. Got my brake drum. Make sure they don't have any damages or holes or any debris like oil or grease. And I have my brake linings. Make sure they're not less than 1/4 inch of thickness. Got the inside rim. Got my inside rim, my butt space, and my outside rim. Make sure they're properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged. They don't have any illegal repairs or weldings. Got all my tires, the sidewalls, and the top of my tires. Make sure they're properly mounted around my rim. They don't have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. They're not leaking. They're all evenly worn, and they're not less than 232. Got my lug nuts properly mounted, all present, not cracked, broken, or damaged, not showing any signs of looseness. Got my axle seal, it's properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, not leaking. I do have a side glass, so I will check the proper level. My valve stem, properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, not leaking. My cap is pressing. I will check the tire pressure with the tire pressure gauge, make sure it's 90 to 100 psi or up to manufacturer gauge. I would check this axle the same way I check that axle. Got my ABS light, properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, amber in color. Got a marker light, properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, red in color. Back, got my clearance lights, properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, red in color. Got my door. I will make sure it doesn't have any damages or holes. If I had the hinges, I will make sure they're not bent or broken, properly mounted. My latch is properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged. I will make sure my door opens and closes properly. I will make sure all my DOT tape is properly mounted, in good condition. I got my lights. These work as my tail lights and brake lights, properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, red in color. These work as my turn signals and my four-way flashers, properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, red in color. DOT bumper, properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, not dented. I don't have any illegal repairs. All my DOT tape on it is in good condition. Tag light, properly mounted, not cracked, broken, or damaged, clear in color. I would check this side of the trailer and tractor the same way I check the other one. Besides, it sets the spare tire mount and the exhaust. The spare tire mount is up here. I'll make sure it's properly mounted. It's not cracked, broken, or damaged, not bent. Doesn't have any illegal weldings.
What do you call that again?
The spare tire mount.
Ahí no tiene.
My exhaust properly mounted. It's not cracked, broken, or damaged. I don't have any leaks.
Oh,
If I had any leaks, it would have the same material that it has on the X.
¿Cómo se le llama? Suds o...
Sud.
Suds, ajá.
And I'm done.